Intelligence. It's something that many people all over the world have. Some only claim to have, many honestly don't have based on how they act and treat themselves and others. And of course, there are the geniuses.
Clever?
It's genius, it really is.
These are the people who are constantly pushing the bounds of science, technology, art, belief, and so on, because they truly think on a higher level. Now, to be clear, there are many different levels of genius, and IQ is only one factor among them. But if you want to see if you or someone else you know is secretly a genius, there are some subtle ways to figure it out. Allow us to show you signs that you are actually a genius. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 1. Listening versus talking. Let's be honest about something here. When you're meeting a smart person, many of them love to talk. The straight-A students, the perfect 4.0 GPA people, the ones who have made something great, you know the type. They're smart and they know they're smart and they love to talk about how smart they are. It's sad, kind of pathetic, and infinitely annoying. But that's the trick. Just because they're smart doesn't mean they're a genius. In fact, many geniuses have apparently been known to prefer to listen rather than talk. Because talking to someone does nothing to help them grow and learn, but listening might teach them something they didn't know before. They believe in the power of being a good listener, and that's saying something. Number 2. Talking to yourself. In contrast, talking to yourself might honestly be helpful to proving you're a genius in potentia. Before you assume that those who talk to themselves have lost their marbles, reevaluate the cause. Speaking out loud signifies a working mind, one that is trying to sort through all the innovative thoughts, creative ideas, and differing strategies to inspire creation and design. It's okay to be vocal. Let your thoughts lead you to greater heights and high-powered thinking. This is why you oftentimes see geniuses having things like a recorder in their hands or are speaking out their words as they write them down. It helps keep their brain active, and that leads to greater things down the road to their enlightenment. Number 3. You never run out of questions. Are you curious about everything? Do you question why things are the way they are? Well, that's a telltale sign of genius right there. Because the brilliant mind never stops questioning and trying to answer the deepest, darkest questions of existence and the universe. Think about geniuses like Albert Einstein or Stephen Hawking. They were ones who were always trying to question things and discover the answers. And yeah, sometimes they got the answers wrong, but that's not the issue. A genius openly asks questions and doesn't stop, while a smart person only tends to want to know the answer and nothing but. Number 4. Alone versus being in a group. This is a key one that is rather subtle in its own right. Smart people don't need a large circle of friends to have a good time. The research conducted by Norman Lee and Satoshi Kanazawa, called How Intelligence, Population Density, and Friendship Affect Modern Happiness, shows that intelligent people enjoy spending time alone, while socializing is more likely to tire them out than give them pleasure. If this is reminding you of a certain British detective with a funny hat, you're not wrong there. The need for knowledge and true simulation for people like geniuses can't be found in a group setting. Not unless they're talking with those who are on their level, which no doubt for them is a very rare thing indeed. So if you're roping in someone to a gathering that they don't want to be at, you might be wrangling a genius. Or a shy person. Either is valid in that analogy. Number 5. Incredible focus. Be honest with yourself right now. How long can you really focus on something?
Focus!
Not something like a TV show or a video game or something that gives you a lot of happy emotions, but something work-related. How long can you focus before your thoughts divert and you're almost begging to do something else? For geniuses, this isn't an issue for them, because if they're true geniuses, the very act of completing a task that they put upon themselves is more important than anything else going on in their lives. This has been a classic TV trope or movie trope as well, where a genius goes and just works in a room or classroom for hours, and then all of a sudden it's the next day and they have no idea where the time went. That unbreakable kind of focus and determination is exactly what geniuses are known for. Number 6. Social anxiety. In today's culture, it's hard to find silence and solitude amidst the chaos of the average workweek. Throw social commitments into the mix, and there's limited time to be alone and be still with your thoughts and creative process. It's common for people with genius qualities to seek out isolation at times, due to a social anxiety and an excessive need for me time in order to practice mindfulness. This is also where the belief that genius comes at a cost comes in, because if you look at the various geniuses of time, including ones like Einstein, you'll find that they had social issues or other problems that they had to overcome in order to be the true genius they were. Not everyone with social anxiety is a genius, to be clear, but it can be a clue to them being more than meets the eye. Number 7. Reading constantly. For many people, reading a book is a good pastime that allows them to go off into a distant world, or try to overcome feelings by reading a story about someone else's life. But for geniuses, the desire to read is something that they go and do because they want to learn more, study more, see other opinions on things, and so on. If you've watched the TV series The Queen's Gambit, you might recall that the main character read all sorts of chess books and guides to games so that she could learn about her opponents and understand them better. That's a type of genius right there. Number 8. Being an older sibling. Scientists from Edinburgh University have proved that older children almost always have a small but statistically significant advantage in terms of IQ. It's usually 3 points higher. It turned out that this difference is connected not to biological or genetic factors, but to the psychological interaction between parents and children. However, it is worth noting that Dmitri Mendeleev was the youngest of 17 siblings. However, this did not stop him from creating the periodic table of elements and leaving his mark in history. So, as in all things, not everything's accurate 100% of the time. Just saying. Number 9. Worry constantly. When it comes to worrying, we all do it. Even the ones who claim they don't, do. It's a natural part of life. A common trait that geniuses have, though, is the tendency to overthink things and worry incessantly. If you find yourself second-guessing yourself during a creation process, perhaps going back and forth between different ideas and strategies, you might be struggling with a shared obstacle among those with higher intelligence, mainly because they want to make sure everything is perfect and that their work reflects the effort that they put into it. Number 10. Challenging yourself. Smart people tend to settle for what they have or the level of intelligence that they obtained. But geniuses? No, they never settle. If they go and find things and are satisfied with their results, then they go and find something else to do, and then they'll complete that and do something else. That's why men like Einstein, Hawking, and more aren't typically associated with only one thing. They're known for something, true, but many times they're known for multiple things. Number 11. Addicts. Like we noted before, sometimes genius comes at a cost. Throughout history, some of the most brilliant minds have been dependent on drugs or alcohol. Edgar Allan Poe was a lush. Cocaine was the love of Sigmund Freud's life, and Stephen King was high off on Xanax, Valium, cocaine, NyQuil, alcohol, and pot for a good chunk of his career. It's sad that they felt their minds needed that to focus or do better, something also shown in The Queen's Gambit via the tranquilizer pills. But it goes through their minds, and thus they act on it. Number 12. Sleep patterns. For some geniuses, time isn't just precious or a commodity. It's the difference between getting things done and not getting things done. A lot of geniuses are known to go and stay up until they can't work anymore, and then sleep as little as possible in order to keep themselves upright, up to working another long period and so on. And if this sounds like a certain crusader, yes, Batman is a genius. That's been proven many times over. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the signs of potentially being a genius? Do you think that some of these signs honestly do point to you or someone else you know of being of higher intelligence? Or do you believe that some of these are a bit arbitrary? Are there other signs you personally believe lead to someone being a genius? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.